Welcome to 5 Minutes in the Word, a daily devotional in the Word of God. All right, Logan, I have a question for you today. What does it take to be great? You see, when you look in the world, a lot of people have money, and a lot of people have great talents. Maybe they're a professional athlete. Is that what it really takes to be great in the eyes of God?
No. To be that professional athlete or have a lot of money, it takes a lot of practice and a lot of self.
Right.
A lot of doing things on your own to make yourself great. And that's a lot of times that's what we're driven by, is to be the greatest. However, in the eyes of God, that's not it. In Matthew chapter 18, the disciples, looking at verses 1 through 6 here, they begin to ask Jesus, who's the greatest? So starting in verse 1, at the time the disciples came to Jesus saying, who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? And calling to him a child, and he put him in the midst of them, and said, truly I say to you, unless you turn and become like children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. Whoever humbles himself like this child is the greatest of the kingdom of heaven. Whoever receives one such child in my name receives me. But whoever causes one of these little ones who believe in me to sin, it would be better for him to have a great millstone fastened around his neck and be drowned in the depth of the sea. To be great is to be like a child, to be one who, look at how I can't speak of this, but children look to their fathers.
Right.
They say dad he can fix anything. He is Superman. He can do anything that nobody else can do. Dad can do it.
Right. Well, I see in children, they're so trusting.
Yeah.
They trust in, like you said, dad. They trust in that figure. Maybe you're on a high diving board and they'll jump off because they know dad's going to catch them. Mm-hmm. They have faith. Just wholeheartedly they believe. When a child believes something, a child is just wholeheartedly. You can see, their face just light up with excitement. A child, as it's talked about in this passage here, is humble. Yeah. Look at the way children are when they act with other people. They really, now I know children can get a little stingy at times, but also you can see great humility in children if you just watch carefully for it. So being great is kind of like being like a child.
Yeah.
What else is greatness like?
Continuing on in chapter 20, we see the sons of Zebedee come to Jesus, starting in Matthew 20, verse 20. Then the mother of the sons of Zebedee came up to him with her sons, kneeling before him, and she asked him for something. And he said to her, what do you want? She said, say these two sons of mine are to sit, one at your right hand and one at your left, in your kingdom. Jesus answered, you do not know what you are asking. Are you able to drink of the cup that I am to drink? They said to him, we are able. And he said, you will drink my cup, but to sit at my right hand and my left hand is not mine to grant, but it is for those whom it has been prepared by my Father. And the 10 heard it, and they indignant to the two brothers. But Jesus called to them and said, you know that the rulers of Gentiles lord over them, and the great ones exceed authority over them. It shall not be so among you, but whoever would be great among you must be a servant, and whoever would be first among you must be your slave. Even the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve, and give his life a ransom for many. So to be great is to, one, be like a child, be as a child in trusting in God in this case, but also being a servant, lowering yourself to the point that you serve others. You're a bond servant to other people.
And that's just a great thing. A child, like we said before, the humility you can find there, that same humility you find in a servant. And if we would recognize that and recognize who we're serving, that we're serving God and stop trying to serve ourselves, then I think people will see the greatness of Him, and we will stop promoting the greatness of ourselves.
That's exactly right.